Greetings everybody, my name is Rayvenwing and welcome back to the Desert City series. I have been busy with a couple other projects which have been very fun, but I've also been working on this world in the background. Just building or cleaning up little things. I'll have to show you the progress later. The updates that I needed to catch up on were also mounting, so I did some of that too. Yeah, I think that'll be a side quest episode at some point. But for today, I have a build planned. An essential part of a city's infrastructure. Something to be built to the letter, you might say. A post office. And this one is guaranteed to have a few very happy employees. I've had the idea for a while of building a Ghast-based mailing system, and of course I need to start with the local post office, which will eventually be in this space behind me. But down the line, I am gonna build some kind of, a much bigger center outside of town, but that's a much bigger project. I may have to build a mountain for it. So we're gonna start here, with the local, Ghast-based post office. In other words, the ghost office. I've already got an outline down, as you can see, so let's try filling it in a little, just to make sure that we've got the shape the way we want it. It's not supposed to be pretty yet, it's just supposed to be in a shape. In case I didn't already make it clear, these are not the final blocks. This is just me trying to fill out the shape that I want. And using cut sandstone, because I previously was using smooth sandstone, which tends to become a kind of tan yellow blob. And it made it really hard to tell what any of the shapes were because everything was kind of the same color and not distinct. It just became that colored blob instead of having dimensions. Hello! Hi, friend. He's hanging out. That's gonna be his place. What do you think? Trying to figure out, if someone's walking in, what are they seeing? And they're seeing, like, wall and then turn. Run out of sandstone. Have a bunch right here. From clearing this thing out. Still working on it. Okay, so we've got some shaping done that I think should work for at least figuring out what it's roughly gonna look like. See, I was like, oh, I think I've got the general idea, and then I'm like, ooh, what if I did this? What about that as an idea? Maybe, I'll keep it there for now. So, some general shaping things, just to get the idea of what the building is going to look like, size-wise. Also, come in here for the door. It's just going to be one door. Come into the main area. Again, this is going to be some kind of a post office type setup. And so I'm thinking here can be a bunch of places for mailboxes. Maybe that, you know, people can drop things off in a specific mailbox kind of depending on what area they're going to. They can also be accessible from the back. Can put some shelves up there. This will be some sitting area, maybe some tables. Front desk. There's going to be a ghast up there. And so here could be some stuff around the boat hanging under the ghast. Their sort of satchel. I've got some signs around to remind myself so that when I start making actual details, I will know what I was thinking. I'm not sure how high the ceilings will be. It definitely won't be higher than like this block here. But I don't know if I might like lower it a block or so. And then back here, this is where you can be in the desk. There's of course shelves and stuff that you can work with. This is where the back of the mailbox is going to be accessible. Under the stairs is going to be another storage area, kind of like my wool shop over on the opposite side. And then back here, there's going to be generally like processing, packaging, preparing stuff, getting stuff either ready to go out or taking in the stuff that has come from somewhere else. Yeah, I think this is a good outline. Now I've just got to go in with the actual blocks I want to use. Because, you know, this isn't the final look. I'm not just going to be using stone, cut sandstone, and andesite for this. I'm actually thinking using some spruce and jungle wood, which is not a combination I've done before, but I feel like should work. If it doesn't, I'll have to change it out, but yeah, let's see how it looks in the proper colors, and then maybe I'll start to get some details figured out. if there's just a wood type in between spruce and like jungle and oak, like shade wise, like a little bit darker than jungle and oak, but lighter than spruce. That'd be real convenient. The structure is looking good. It just needs some details to really send it. And with that, we have an interior. I am pretty happy with this one, honestly. I think it looks pretty good. Right over here, you can see we have the mailboxes. In each of these, there's a little bit of wool, and each of these colors represents a direction. As you can see in this key over here, at the cardinal points, we of course have north, east, south, and west. And then we have the, I think it's called ordinal directions. We have northwest, northeast, southeast, and southwest. These colors would be used in the larger postal system to indicate what direction relative to the hub mail is going. And for the city, it's a north-northwest direction from where the hub is going to be. It's not there yet. That's a future project. But because it's sort of north and to the northwest, those are the colors that are kind of scattered throughout this post office. On this side, we've got a little loading dock area. A Happy Ghast will go up there. It has a place for you to put a boat to secure it to the bottom of the Ghast. Has materials and supplies that you might need. There's a small desk here, which is just a sample of what is to come, because as per usual, I had way too much fun with the Armor Poser mod, just to scatter some bits of paper and maps all over the place, and I also did this little quill and an inkwell, and genuinely, this brings me so much joy. I love it so much. It turned out so cute. It's just a blackstone button with the feathers sticking out of it, but it makes a really good inkwell. It turned out perfect. Anyway, I will talk about things other than the inkwell. I just wanted to give that a little highlight because it does make me happy. Anyway, there is an employees only entrance over here to get into the desk area. Of course, we've got storage, we've got more maps and papers. I, of course, took advantage of the fact that the used maps look like they have writing on them, so I can have both blank and written on pages everywhere. You come through here, you get into this back area. This is the back side of that mailbox up in the front, so you can access all of the barrels from the back and get the mail out of them and onto the processing area. Over here is just a closet or storage space. I didn't decorate it, but it could be useful. And then if you go over here, you see the main processing room. This is where most of the work would be done to process both the incoming and outgoing mail. Lots of storage, lots of barrels and chests. There's scattered bits of paper, there's maps, there's supplies, whatever you might need. I also stuck a lodestone right there, so any postal workers could have compasses to guide them to the places that they need to go. Maybe that's something that a new post office worker would get, like a little bundle of some of the main compasses that they might need, and that could guide them to their on their route. I do have ideas for I'm thinking 2 characters that are going to be the main employees here. I need to develop them a little further, but I'm thinking that there's one that's the main sort of desk attendant, the one that that carries the mail within the city itself. I'm sort of imagining someone with moth wings, because that sounds fun, and that she kind of can flutter around the post office, organizing things and sorting things as necessary. And then there's the one who brings mail in from the hub to the city and brings the city's mail to the hub. He would be sort of a regular visitor and a character of his own right that I also need to figure out. I'll get that done later. And then over here we see... Oh, 1 second. There you go. Much better. Down here, we've got the Ghast garage. As you can see, it's got 3 Ghast parking spaces. Each one has a place for the harness, a place for some leads and some shears, obviously the place for the Ghast itself. You have these little levers to keep the Ghast in. You have this little lever to keep them at the right level to walk right on. The Ghasts are the same color scheme as the Ghost office shows for the area that the city is in, so they're kind of, their sort of district or whatever you'd want to call it. You've got light blue, regular blue, and cyan. The cyan one is elsewhere at the moment, so you can kind of see an empty parking space with the colors. We've got sort of a storage and work area, plus with these shelves able to store stacks, that means that it's not just individual pieces of paper. Or while this is an individual lead, the ones over here are multiple leads. I wasn't super excited about the shelves when they were announced, but those are actually very handy. Anyway, I again used a bit of the armor stand mod to scatter some bits of paper and some books around. I also have some over here, some nice little candles, and a nice bookcase, probably full of parcels and packages and records of various kind. Over here we have some scaffolding, and that lets us down into the lower area. Again, you can see that what the empty space looks like here. We've got some boxes and such piled up near the front, lots of barrels for potential storage. This one here has some boats and snowballs for the Ghasts. I almost wonder if it'd be smarter to bring the leads down here, but I guess I will find out what works best whenever I actually use these guys. And here, this is just a little back area. Not very pretty, but I'm sure I'll decorate some of it once I do the inside of the walls. It also has an exit right here. And you come out here to the second big field I built. If you missed those episodes, I did build a whole wheat field on the other side of the city. It's getting a bit dark. And wanted to do one over here too. So I got around to that in between episodes. I still have some stuff I want to do with this, but now it provides a nice landscape to sit outside of the Ghast garage. Oh, that looks pretty good. The original design for the individual sort of parking spaces did come from a video. I will try to track it down and link it in the description. The rest of the design I just made up. I basically knew that I would need 3 stalls, and so I roughly outlined how big that would need to be, and then just kind of filled it in from there. But I'm very happy with this, so let's go ahead and sleep, and head back out front to track down that cyan Ghast. quick break for some joy. Again. Okay, let's do this one more time. Perfect. And that's the completed Ghost office. I am very happy with how this turned out. I had so much fun messing with the armor stand mod for all of the smaller details, and I'm looking forward to future mail system builds that I have planned. Now, let's just get this guy into position post-haste. There you go, now he's got his little spot, and the Ghost office really is done. This one is definitely more of a lore-based build than a practical one or a farm, but I do love it already. Maybe having this will even encourage me to use my Happy Ghasts more. Anyway, I hope that you have enjoyed this episode, maybe even enough to stick around for the next one, and if so, maybe I'll see you there. Bye! Nope, not that. This one? This one? There's the button. Yeah. And then either I just cut here and then cut at the stable, or I try to use this next bit as a transition. I'm probably going to injure myself, so let's see how this goes. The updates that I needed to catch up on were also mounting. Don't fall, but hello. Almost worked. Nope. I didn't expect to go down. And then fly down. Probably do that, honestly. Gosh dang it. Decoration in the form of various papers everywhere. There was one there. Where'd it go? There was a... Where'd my armor stand go? Oh, there it is. There you go. Okay, I fixed it. Maybe... Oh! I think I might have picked it up. I actually might remember that. Because I picked up a random map and I did not know where it was from. And I assumed it was from a shelf, so I think I put it there. But it was actually that one. Anyway. Or, while this is an individual lead... There's like literal birds tweeting aggressively outside. I'm sorry. I think I'm also gonna get recordings of this bit when I do the path. After I do the path, because there are literally birds chirping very whimsically outside. I usually record at like 2 a.m. This is not usually a problem. I didn't freaking grab the freaking things I need. I was gonna specifically use cut sandstone, and I did not grab any cut sandstone. Hi, buddy. How you doing? It just became that colored blob instead of having dimensions. Hello. Hi, friend. You just kind of sit. That's cute. You sit. No, did you just leave? Or did you go down? You just left. Okay. Hi, buddy. Well, I guess I stopped it from leaving out the top, but not from the sides. Okay, buddy, you can fly around. I'll fix up your little spot. I feel like you're gonna lose the boat. Hey, bud. Hi, buddy. Hey, buddy.